when someone yells at us, when someone rebukes us, when they make fun of us, the easiest thing is to give a response of anger, to lash out, to argue your point. And what I've learned is that is one of the biggest ways to you cannot win. You cannot win an argument. If you think about an argument, you have two people trying to make their point to the top, and then once you do, you still lose. There's no winning to an argument. This is classic Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Under high heaven, do not argue. Do not argue with your boss. Do not argue with your landlord. Do not argue with your parents. Do not argue with your friends. Because when it comes to arguing, you lose either way. Because, look, we have our minds made up. There's a few people that are open. Sure, you can open someone's mind, but man, when someone's set on something, and then you totally stomp on that belief, they are wounded. Okay, it hurts the ego. And literally an identity transformation has to go forth in this process, because now something you believe is squashed. So arguing, get away from that. And this leads me into sort of the basis for all charisma is being able to give up, to let go. People want to hear much more about themselves. People want to hear themselves talk. They think they're interesting. They want to be seen as interesting. So they want to talk about themselves. Once you realize that, it changes the game. I just came back to sales, and one thing, it's incredible. I feel wiser, but I'm not wiser. I just learned to shut my mouth. Seriously, I just learned to be quiet and actually listen. It's not about using techniques. It's about actually listening. And when I say listening, I don't mean thinking about what you're going to say after they're done. I mean shutting your mouth, not nodding your head too much, and listening intently. Not interrupting them with, oh yeah, oh yeah, well, no, none of that. Become a master listener. And if there becomes an argument, don't fucking argue, alright? And this is with anything. I mean, it will change your life if you become a master listener. Let them talk. Ask them open-ended questions about their life and themselves, about their family, about their interests. Let them talk. Once they talk and make their point, then you can talk. Wait a second. Respond with your face. Surprise, or, deep thought. Contemplation. And then, really feeling what they're saying. Too many times we try to get our point across without actually hearing. This is the number one thing that will open so many doors for you guys. If you go to interviews, I guarantee you, they can speak. The interviewer can speak more than you. You can be seen as someone of value and worth by being quiet. Very powerful. And just from there, realizing that when you are quick to anger, when you're quick to lash out, when someone yells at you or raises their voice, that is a test. That is, you cannot win. Realize that. It's better to lay down, be slow to speak, be slow to anger. Lay down your guns, and either you apologize. I would be careful with the apology, because apology in some circumstances can be admitting that you were wrong. But sometimes you need to be soft enough to say I'm sorry, all right? To ask for forgiveness. And other times it's okay to admit, you know what, I made a mistake. I think that's hard for a lot of us. You know what, I fucked up. Let me fix this. How can I fix this? See, the time that someone yells at us or tells us, what were you doing? What were you thinking? Right, we immediately get into this animal mode. Oh God, you better fucking watch out, man. Right, and we try to defend our point instead of hearing them. And see, that's the best thing you can do. Don't fight it. Don't argue it. Be a master listener and watch your life change. I'm telling you guys, let me know your results from this. I think that this is something you can practical, tangible. You can put this into practice starting tonight and watch your life change. And take a few seconds to really hear them. Let that silence, be okay in the silence. It can be uncomfortable, sure. But you get okay with that, and that really makes them feel like they're being heard. Like you're taking in what they have to say instead of just jumping on them with an answer right when they're done talking. Switching it to, oh yeah, you know what? That happened to me too. No one gives a fuck. They don't give a fuck, right? Day 32. No fat. Let's get it. Peace.